Hello everybody. So today I've had a lot of questions about this deck, which is Magistus Infernoble deck. A lot of people have been asking me about, why you play it, the combo alliance, etc., etc. So I figured it'd be the best so if I can make a video explaining everything, kind of just a very easy reference so I can just talk about it real quick. So Magistus is a new engine coming out in, I believe, the Battles of Legends set, which adds a very, very powerful combination of cards to this engine, which makes it very, very strong in many different decks. You have Spoon, which is the new mainline monster that you use. It's like a searcher that also has like a relevant graveyard effect, even if you don't draw like your other Magistus cards, or even if this gets ashed, the graveyard effect is still very relevant. Crowley, which can go ahead and make the new Zorora by using Spoon or using any of your searchers, which is very nice. And then Lacrima of Light, which is the absolutely broken new spell card that kind of functions as like an in-between of cross out and like an emergency teleport. It's really good because it also has like a foolish burial effect that can send this to the graveyard to copy its effect. It's very, very strong. These new packages of cards are very, very powerful, and especially because they add plenty of depth to the Infernoble strategy, which is of course what I love. I love Infernoble. So the engine works really well because you're able to bridge what between the Magistus cards, which make a monster negate before 5 or on 5, as well as being able to make Dempsey, which searches out Boost Warrior, which is able to work with Chorozo, being a tuner, to make Angelica. So it's weird how it works, but it's also very, very strong, considering the strength of the new cards and the fact that it gives Inferno up to like 13 one-card combos, meaning how crazy you want to get with the engine, which I don't recommend, but you can. So starting off, we have Spoon. Spoon is again the new card. It adds a Magistus, but also when you can banish it, and you can target any monster in the field. So if you start with Infernobles and say you like Talon's Draw and you draw on the Spoon, you don't necessarily have to search this, which is very nice because you could also like equip Artemis, use her Turpin effect, use Oliver, which is very, very good. Liliana, which all she does is search a spell, but the spell is so broken because of Jenny that she basically just teleports anything in the game, which is very, very nice. Zorora, which equips him from the extra deck, which is very good, but it's also genuinely pretty good because it gives you extra extension when he becomes equipped with a Magistus by summoning one from hand or graveyard, which is very nice. Both Brilliana and Zorora are one-card combos outside of Spoon, which is very nice. So if you want to play up to like 9 of them, you can play 3 Spoon, 3 Brilliana, 3 Zorora, and have over 9 one-card combos for a deck like this, which is very strong. But you normally play 1 to 3 of this or 1 to 3 of this, depending on your strategy. This Aurora is a little bit more friendly to extension, versus getting like hand trap on the normal summon because it's a tuner, level 4 tuner, so you can use Boost Warrior, search stuff of Heritage, Museum, Durendal, or Raw Opened, etc., which is very nice. This is not once per turn, just summons that when you control a tuner. Genuinely pretty good. Endymion, you can play 0 to 1. You don't have to play it if you don't want to, but you can play it if you want to like put back bricks like Crowley or Jenny. Jenny can also be dealt with by using Tugaris, so either or, but it's like okay to use the deal with Crowley, but you don't have to play it. It can just take up deck space in that case. And the Crowley is a new card. It's basically like a Poplar that can fusion summon when it gets summoned, which is very nice because you can turn itself plus like Artemis into Zorora, which is again the monster negate, and it's not only a monster gate, but it's a monster gate and then pop a card on the field, which is very, very nice because if you're playing against like Malice and like you summon like the Zorora and they use like Dormouse to banish a card, you could like negate the banished effect and then pop the Dormouse, which is very, very powerful, especially for like layering interaction versus a deck like that. So yeah, these all cards are really, really good, especially with Lacrima of Light. So this is a new quick play spell that you search over Leona, but you play 3 of it because not only does it just Foolish Burial and Magistus, or Witchcrafter, if you Foolish Burial if you control one, sorry, but you can just send the Spellcaster, so this way you can send the Lacrima or the Jenny. But if your opponent hand traps you, you just teleport out the Jenny from your deck, you make a link, and then you teleport again, which is really, really powerful, especially going second. It's just so, so good. But yeah, this is the skeleton of the deck. You just play like the same minimal Fire Warrior engine, just enough to like have like extenders in the deck as well as like enough to make your end board. So 1 Boost, 1 Renard, 1 Ogier, 1 Magus, 1 Turpin, 1 Oliver, 1 Gearfried. You could play 2 or 3 Heritage, 2 or 3 Museum. It all depends on what you want your build to look like, which is why like I've kind of like put the minimums in here. But looking at the extra deck, it's 2 Artemis. This card's really good because it's like becomes an easy link 1 to make Crowley plus it into Zorora. 2 Chorozo. This card like makes the deck work. because you're able to like send a bunch of cards in the equip zone to summon out level 4s that are tuners, which you can easily extend with Boost Warrior. Very, very good, because then you can make rank 4s. There's just a lot you can do with this card. It's very, very nice. I already talked about Zorora being a negate, being a pop, and then it's also a snatch steal. You can just like take their card and equip it, which is very good, because like it's not a snatch, it's more of an anima, but it's very, very strong if you go second. Because if they interact with it, so say you go like Zorora effect to take their detonator, and they go detonator effect, detach itself, you can like go cool. The pop itself, you can go cool, like negate, pop something else in the field. Then the detonator still goes to the graveyard, because of the way like anima ruling works. It's really, really nice. They bring 2 Charles, 1 Charles, 1 Angelica, 1 Roland. We all know about this. Then 1 Dempsey. This is kind of how you merge the engines, because these are all level 4s. Charles is a level 4. You make this, you grab out the Boost Warrior, and then you basically turn the Dempsey or anything else into the Chorozo to summon out the Boost Warrior to make Angelica, which is very nice. Now, the one debate is between whether you want to play Cross Sheep and Princess and Dugaris versus like extra, random extra deck cards. So there's some combos you can do with Dugaris that you can't do with these two, but these two also get you way more like push and way more follow-up, because Princess follow-up is really insane with Zorora. So it all really depends on what you want to play style be like, and I'm sure they'll get figured out before the cards come out. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into the combos. So the first one I'm going to show you is the Reliona combo with Spoon, Search, and Reliona. So you're going to go Spoon effect, search Reliona, normal summon Reliona. Reliona is going to add Lacrima of Light here, which is the spell card. We're going to go ahead and link into Artemis, Lacrima of Light to send to Jenny, and use Jenny's effect in the graveyard to banish herself plus a Witchcrafter spell, which just counts as a Witchcrafter spell because it's effect. Then you can copy the spell's effect, which does not take into account the activation conditions, so this lets you teleport out a Magistus or a Witchcrafter, which is very good. Teleport out the Zorora effect to equip, effect to go ahead and search the Crowley, special summon the Crowley. We're going to go ahead and make the Zorora equip, and then Reliona equip. Then you're going to use effect to summon out. It's just like so many bodies and so much advantage. It's really nice. You're going to make Dempsey. Here, Dempsey's effect is going to search Boost, which you're going to summon out to make Angelica. So a big thing here is after I search Museum, I'm going to detach Spoon from Dempsey, which this is going to let me use Spoon effect to target the Angelica, and use Angelica effect to tag out, which is really nice, because if they try and like chain block it, then you have another equip to use it on. And if not, you just get a free equip to use, make your second Charles with, which is really nice. So search Museum, detach the Spoon, all mace Durendal. Durendal's going to go for Renaud. So yeah, Spoon effect target, chain, dump Turpin, summon Roland, summon out Turpin, yep, Durendal Renaud, like I said. Then you're going to make Charles, summon Renaud, add back your equip, which is why the Spoon effect's important. Make IP, make Charles, make the second Charles, and boom. Angelica returns at the end phase. So you have IP into SP, which is 2 interruptions. Then you have Charles, just 2 interruptions. Another Charles, which is 5 interruptions. And then you have Zorora and Monster Negate, which is 6 interruptions. And then if you have like a favorable Zorora Negate, you can also like negate a monster and then pop another card on the field, which is really, really powerful. But yeah, 6 interruptions for the Spoon 1-card combo. That's safe through Nib. Very, very powerful. And it's usually safe through other low impact hand traps, because you can like, you say they like Ash the Spoon or whatever, you can like normal summon Ogier, banish Spoon, equip the Artemis, which is very, very nice. So I'm gonna go ahead and get into the Zorora combo. And then also this combo is just safe with Reliona. You can do the same thing with Reliona, which is really nice. So getting into the Zorora combo, this is a Zorora 1 card. Normal summon equip, use effect to search out Spoon. Then you're gonna use Spoon effect to actually search out Reliona, which is important. You're going to go effect to equip, and then special summon out. Make your Chorozo to make Dugaris. So this is why I said Dugaris is some combos that you can't do with Cross Sheep and the Promethean Princess. So Dugaris effect, bring back the Reliona. Reliona's going to add the Lacrima of Light. Then you're going to add the Lacrima of Light, banish to Jenny. Jenny effect, summon out this. Make your Zorora. Make your Dempsey. Add Boost. Detach the Reliona. Attach another Artemis. Then make another Chorozo. Summon the Boost, make Angelica, and you've seen this before. Go Museum effect. Dump, add Renaud, special Renaud, add Durendal, so you can have the target. And not having to use Spoon is why this combo ends on less, because you have to use the Durendal to target the Angelica, which if you're able to like, if you have like another extender, you don't have to use a Spoon to target, to equip the Artemis, you can just use a Spoon to target the Angelica. So go for this, dump the Magistus. This also gets you a draw 2, which is really nice. So put back, draw 1, and then make your Charles, and make your blue Charles, equip Magistus, and then equip 2, and you'll have an extra draw next turn. And that's why you pop the Turpin, so you'll negate, and then if you have to get rid of this, you can draw, which is really, really nice. So those are the 2 combos. Obviously, this changes when you open like Lacrima, extra extenders, but it feels very clean. It feels very, very high power level. If you get stopped, you have just a bunch of extenders to extend past. Lacrima's extremely broken card. Yeah, very, very nice. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, go ahead and leave them in the comments, or feel free to join on the Light Discord or John Franco's Infernoble Discord. I'll be there. You can ask me some questions. I'll be happy to answer. But yeah, overall, this is the deck. I think it's really, really strong, and I hope you guys enjoyed it.